In the first place, environmental ethics question the assumed moral superiority of human beings to the members of other species on earth. So, as I told you, environmental ethics challenged the assumption that humans are a special species. They are superior species. Environmental ethics challenged that assumption. In the second place, it investigated the possibility of rational arguments for assigning intrinsic value to the natural environment and its non-human contents. So as I told you, first thing, it challenged anthropocentrism. It simply questioned and argued that humans are not important. They are equal. They are not at all important than other creatures. They are equal with other creatures. The second thing is, what about the value? Do rocks have value? Do mosquitoes have value? Soil has value? It is called intrinsic value. That is what environmental ethics is focusing on, the natural world. Everything in the world, whether it is non-living or the living, they have intrinsic value. I want to give you one example from Gospel of St. Matthew. You know Jesus, the parable of the wheat and the weeds. It is known as the parable of the wheat and the tare. But I put it the parable of the wheats and weeds. In that parable, Jesus is teaching that don't remove the weeds. Kala edukadinga. Don't destroy them. Let the wheat and the weeds grow together. Even the weeds have intrinsic value. The wheat symbolizes instrumental value. We are very good in promoting instrumental value. Whatever is used for humans, we try to protect, we try to conserve, we try to cultivate, we try to promote. Coconuts are useful for humans, so we grow coconuts. Groundnuts bring lot of money, so grow groundnuts. Iron ore, gold, silver, they are very expensive minerals. So let us take them, sell them. They have instrumental value to the economy, to our own livelihood. So we value them for their instrumental value. But we don't value some plants and animals, some minerals. Soil, we don't value much. We just take it and make brick. we burn them in the kiln for 3 days, and we dump waste into the soil, we don't value soil at all. But soil has intrinsic value. Soil has a right to stay wherever it is made. I mean, the soil is made in my village. I am from Vellore. My village name is Kattupadi village near Vellore, 8 kilometers. It's a village. Soil is made here. It is not made for humans alone. It is made for hands. It's made for plants. It's made for microscopic bacteria. And also it's made for humans. But who are you to take all the soil and put them in a lorry and take the soil to another place? And you are stripping naked. I mean, the plants die, the grass dies, and the microscopic bacteria which evolved here has been removed. We don't have such right. The intrinsic value we need to bring in when we do any actions in the environment. When you see the mountain being powdered by some ignorant thugs, that is dirty, dirty, dirty business. Destroying a mountain. That dirty man should have asked, can I bring the mountain back? If I destroy that mountain for my self-interest, half of the mountain gone, can I bring the mountain back to existence? That stupid idiot should answer, I can't bring it back. I can't bring it back. Then why do you destroy? Why do you destroy? Just for the sake of your wife, for your children, for your bank balance, you dirty, evil man? இதெல்லாம் ஒரு பொழப்பாடா? Is it a life? Even the brick making, the most dirtiest business in the world. It's all right. Some 50 years ago, our ancestors built houses out of brick. Some 50, 100 years ago, there were only few humans. They took soil. It's okay. The soil was coming and they were taking. It was balanced. But now, we are taking too much of soil. And also they are taking topsoil. Topsoil means with bacteria, with the microscopic bacteria. When you go deep inside, there is no microscopic bacteria. And you throw the grain, it won't grow. Only topsoil can give you harvest. Topsoil produces abundantly. In the parable of the sower, Jesus talks about the soil, different types of soil. You remember? The wayward soil, the rocky soil, the bushy or thorny soil, and at last the good soil. So we have been removing soil more than it can produce. So soil has the intrinsic value. So when we talk about intrinsic value, you allow them where they are. If you find a rock in my village, leave the rock there. Don't take the rock and take it to Kavarapettai. It doesn't belong to you. Leave the rock in my village. If I find a soil in my village, leave the soil in my village. Don't take it to Kavarapettai. No. These are all our local resources. Local resources are meant to be used by the living organisms, those who live there. You shouldn't remove anything. So you understand now what is intrinsic value and instrumental value. So today we seek instrumental value more than intrinsic value. That is why we ended up in ecological crisis, resource depletion, land pollution, mountain destruction, dumping waste. All these ecological problems are day by day increasing because of instrumental value. We value only to humans, nobody else. All right, now we have come to the evolution of ethics. How this environmental ethics has come into being in 1970s. Was there ethic before or no ethics? So this slide illustrates how ethics came to be understood in our times. First, pre-ethical past, that means 4 million years ago. That means 40 lakhs of years ago. That is the time when humans came into existence. Of course, they were primates. They are known as australopiths. That means proto-humans. That is the time they began to stand on 2 legs. So that is called pre-ethical past. I mean, there was no ethics there, only self-interest. Our ancestors 4 million years ago were very selfish. That's how they survived. Selfishness enabled them to survive. So there was no ethics at all. It is known as the selfish gene. You know, famous British author called Richard Dawkins. You go to the library today and you ask the librarian to give you The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins. He's a famous writer. One of the best books of all time. Like Darwin's The Origin of Species, 1856, he wrote one of the best books in the world. So I think Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins is also one of the best books ever written. So pre-ethical past was selfish, extremely selfish. And then came ethical past. You know, that is 10,000 years ago. 10,000 BC. It is called Neolithic times. Actually, pre-ethical past is known as hunters and gatherer lifestyle. Men went for hunting, women went for gathering. So it is known as the hunters and gatherers lifestyle. So ethical past was 10,000 years ago. They abandoned hunters and gatherer lifestyle and they began cultivating, they began agriculture. They invented agriculture. So now they started settled life. Before there was no settlement. Only 10,000 years ago they settled in one place. So there were small villages, small towns. So that is the time they formed, they built houses, they had family, they had tribe, all this caste system all emerged, and also religion. So when religion comes, of course, they bring ethics. They talk about morals, they talk about values, they talk about good, bad, sin, evil, hell, heaven, purgatory, everything came into being. So that is the start of ethics. 10,000 BC. So now, at present, we are talking about ethics and we are enlarging our consciousness, as I told you earlier. In the ethical past, 10,000 years ago, ethics was confined to family, tribe, that's it. Now ethics is enlarging to nations, to all humans. We consider humanity is one. There is no caste system like India. India is extreme in fragmenting the humanity and also vulgar. Indian humanity is the vulgar display of fragmentation. Today we see everything is one. We call a global village, in which there are no nations. There are about 195 to 200 nations. But today ethics, the environmental ethics puts it in one perspective. No, there are no 195 nations. It is only one planet. Pope Francis calls it our common home. There is no passport, there is no visa. We are all one. There are no religions. We are all one family, one race. There are no Christians, there are no Hindus, there are no Muslims. We are human family. Now we are including animals also. You know, yesterday you must have celebrated Feast of St. Francis of Assisi. How many of you like Francis of Assisi? Raise your hands. Hey, you are good students. I like you so much. Yeah. Everybody likes St. Francis of Assisi. You see, 800 years ago, here is a person called Francis of Assisi, one who saw everything as one global village. The whole cosmic, everything is a cosmic. He called it cosmic family. He goes beyond the global village. Global village means one planet. But Francis of Assisi saw the whole universe is one. He told cosmic family, in which Abba the Father, only one Father. There is only one Father, one who gave birth to the non-living and the living. That's why we call Abba the Father. That's why we pray our Father, one who gave birth to the non-living and the living. Francis of Assisi called beautifully brother sun, sister moon, mother, sister earth, brother wind, sister water, brother fire, sister death, brother wolf, sister lamp. This is the cosmic family. Look at that. How 800 years ago, Francis Assisi saw everything is one, integral. So today we see everything is integrated, not fragmented. We have seen fragmented in the past: family, tribe, religion, nation, race, humans, plants, fragmented, but now integral. So, what about the future? So already present looks very good. What about the future? Yes, future looks very, very good. Our heart is big. Our consciousness is big. Humans have a super-sized consciousness. They can open it up, open it up, open it up, open it up as wide as you can. As wide as you can, to include everything. So now the non-living components. So far we have been talking about only the living parts. The environment we didn't bring into account. Now we include also environment. I want to explain a little more so that you can understand better. You know, the natural world can be divided into 5 kingdoms. Jesus called kingdom of God. Science calls it kingdom of life. Actually, in the 16th century, Swedish botanist Carl Linnaeus, it is called Linnean classification. You know, kingdom, subkingdom, genus, phylum, class, family, species, all that classification is known as the Linnean classification. He divided the natural world into 5 kingdoms of life. 5 kingdoms of life. Number one is kingdom of Monera. That is the simple bacteria known as the Monera. It includes two types of bacteria, archibacteria, eubacteria. To put it simply, it's a kingdom of bacteria, simple bacteria. All right? The second category is the kingdom of Protista. Protista is a complex bacteria. The first Monera doesn't have nucleus. It doesn't have DNA. There is no deoxyribonucleic acid in the first category. The second one, it includes nucleus. So the bacteria is more complex. It has got genetic material, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. The third one is the kingdom of fungi. That is the linking the first two kingdoms with the last two kingdoms of plants and animals, fungi. Fungi are recyclers, reusers. They recycle the dead matter, dead stuff. When plants die, when the wood is dead, fungi recycles. When animals die, fungi recycles. When Protista and Monera die, fungi recycles. So it is in the middle. The fourth one is the kingdom of plants. The fifth one is the kingdom of animals. Who are we? Where is our kingdom? Where are we? In which kingdom we are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which kingdom? 5. 5. Correct. Fifth kingdom we are. Let me see the time. What is the time now? Oh, I have got 10-15 minutes more. So fifth kingdom, we are inserted in that. So now that is only half the truth. Only half the truth. The kingdom of Monera, the kingdom of Protista, the kingdom of fungi, the kingdom of animals, the kingdom of plants. 5. Only half the truth I just uttered. I am talking about only the biotic component, only the living parts. What about the abiotic part? I forgot it. What about them? You think biotic can come without abiotic? No, that is not possible. We need abiotic in order to become biotic. So I was talking only living parts, living parts, living parts. Now I have to include the abiotic. That is what the future environmental ethics is all about. We are including the kingdom of Monera and their environment, the kingdom of Protista and their environment, the kingdom of fungi and their environment, the kingdom of plants and their environment, the kingdom of animals and their environment. That is what we are going to do in the future. We are going to understand the intrinsic value of the environment. Today we talk about only environment. Imagine our philosophy and theology. So far we have been talking about hell, heaven, purgatory, grace, Christology, Mariology, ontology, epistemology, all ologies. But now today, our human consciousness is calling us different learning about soil, about water, about air, about peacocks, about king cobra, about tigers, about bees, about photosynthesis, about pollination, about ecosystem free services, about carbon cycle, hydrologic cycle, nitrogen cycle, food web, producers, consumers, decomposes. Oh my God, future looks good. Welcome to the reality. When you read Laudato Si, you find photosynthesis, producers, consumers, soil, water, air, again and again and again. Nowhere you will read hell, heaven, purgatory, grace. You won't read it. So today our understanding, our future is going to include other stuff which we have been ignoring in the past. Of course, the teaching on hell, heaven, purgatory, we have to respect them. It's about religion. We can't discard. We can't throw them away. They are part of us. But also, we need to open our eyes and see the soil which is destroyed in front of our eyes, water which is being polluted just in front of our eyes, air, we are breathing poison, we are eating genetically modified food, chemicals. We are dumping so much of fertilizers, pesticides. That is not food. That is poison. And we are eating it. And we are putting it into our body. Is it ethically right? Our small babies are going to be born. We eat this contaminated food and babies are getting that poison. Do we have such right? So environmental ethics is a timely subject. When we experience all these ecological problems, 21st century problems, they really revoke environmental ethics. Without environmental ethics, our future looks bleak. Our future looks intimidating, vulnerable. I think environmental ethics can heal, can set a trajectory, can create a positive path for all of us.